We are spending this week in Cappadocia, which is a region in Turkey known for rock formations, hot air balloons, and the rest of its natural beauty. And this week we've been staying in the town of Göreme, and I apologize if I pronounce every single one of these things wrong, but we've been staying in the town of Göreme, and today we took a taxi ride over to the Zelve Open Air Museum, and we just walked in the entrance, and already this place has such amazing views. This museum spans over 3 valleys, and in these valleys there are a bunch of caves and churches and just a bunch of settlements with so much history, and I can't wait to start exploring it. There's such a distinct line starting the blackness.
Yeah, Sabrina was saying that the rooms that have the blackened tops are from kitchens, like from fires being used a lot. I don't know what this thing is, but I want to know. It looks pretty cool.
So I think this is saying, so there's a lot of wheat production that's done in this area to feed the people living in the Zelve ruins. And the plaque is saying that stone wheel, whatever it is used to make cracked wheat. The process is made by means of a stone averaging 500 kilograms in weight and 1.5 meters in diameter, which seems, Yeah, that seems to match up this thing in here. So this was used to make cracked wheat, I guess. I just went into what is called the fish and grape churches, and unfortunately there was no any kind of photography or videos allowed in those churches. The reason they got their name is because in one room there is a fish in the frescoes, and on the other room there are some grapes, and there's a man standing outside to give you some information on it. And through broken English and Google Translate, I asked him if there's an estimate of how long those churches have been there. And so for this whole museum, I think they don't really know when, but they know that this area was very important in the 9th and 13th century. And so I guess that's kind of the estimate for everything around here. And that's just, it's so amazing to think about how long that is and how so many of these are still preserved today. And even inside that church, the fact that you can see some of the frescoes is just so incredible. And I wish I could have taken some videos to show you guys, but hopefully there'll be some other churches or other things like that along the way that I can show you. But this place is just so incredible. I'm not usually tall enough to hit the roofs of places, but here I definitely am. Oh my gosh. I didn't notice if this was in the last cave that we kind of looked under, but in here you can see all these like scrapings, almost like claw marks. I wonder if that's from people carving it out, like if that's been there the whole time the cave has been here, since like the 1300s. That's crazy. I feel like there's no way it'd still be in that much detail, because like they're everywhere and they're so pronounced still. I'm curious. I haven't seen anything in any of the plaques about that. It's so cool to just kind of be able to imagine people picking away at this, creating these. I don't even know how to begin to imagine life in the 1300s. 18th century or the 9th century especially. But in every one of these that I go into, I try to imagine how people could have lived in here. I mean, it's insane to think of people living in these caves. There's all these like holes carved out. It's like, I wonder if they used them for shelves, if like this could be a good size for a bed if they weren't sleeping on the floor. I mean, this has the black remnants, so I'd imagine that's for cooking. Like, I don't know, this is so crazy to think about. And to think that people had this view out their window. I just came by another church, and unfortunately the information plaque that was outside had been taken down, so I didn't get any information on it. I don't know what it was called or anything really about the history, but it didn't have any frescoes, but it seemed to be a little bit more well preserved than the other one. You could still see the carvings and the decorations around the walls, like carving decorations and the crosses, and it was so beautiful. And I think it was a little bit bigger than the church that I went in that I couldn't show. At least it was all one room, so it felt bigger. But I walked in when there was a tour group, and I heard the tour guide say he thinks that church was built in the 8th century. So I think a little bit older than some of the other estimates around here that are between the 9th and 13th centuries. So that's really cool. I didn't hear any reasonings as to why, other than that it's because the church didn't have any frescoes. So I didn't really get the reasoning on that, but I still think that's pretty crazy, pretty cool. Oh, I hate this. At least there's sunlight at the end, that's nice. Whoa. Well, okay, it's dark in here, totally out of my comfort zone. I saw the view and now I'm getting out. So I think I just have one more valley to explore, which I'm pretty sure is what we got a peek of through that little tunnel back there. And oh gosh. And I think I just got to another lookout point. I am so excited to go in this thing. That looks so cool. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's pretty high up. I'm gonna go down. I think I spoke too soon. I thought I saw people walking up in this thing that I pointed out at the top viewpoint, but it's all fenced off. I don't really know what this is. I guess based on what's outside of it, it could have been a church. But this doesn't really look anything like the other churches other than like the rounded roofs. But I don't know. So apparently I just completely missed the information plaque that's right outside of it. So it's a mosque, it's not a church. And I haven't seen a minaret in this style. It says it's made in the Baldaquin style, which I've never heard of. But I guess that style is with 4 columns and a pointed top, is all this says. Oh no, it says this kind of minaret is often seen in mosques from the early Ottoman period. Okay. So that makes sense. Okay, good. I'm glad I got my answer. But yeah, I definitely have not seen a minaret like that. That's really cool. So apparently this area is the square, and this plaque, which, gosh, this place just continues to blow my mind. It says this square was used by the villagers of Zelve, still don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, sorry if that's wrong, until 1952. That is so much more recent than I ever would have guessed. 1952? It says that people were then evacuated from here. I never would have guessed this was used as recently as then. Since we've spent our first few days here mostly inside working, we figured we should walk back instead of getting another taxi back to Gourmet. And it's a pretty long walk, so we're going to start heading back down so that hopefully we don't get caught in the dark for too terribly long. This has been such an amazing first day exploring Cappadocia, and fingers crossed we're going to try to get on a hot air balloon in the next few days. We've been here for 4 mornings and they've only gone up for 1. They've been canceled every other day. So we're not sure if that's going to happen, but hopefully it can. That'd be such an incredible experience here. And hopefully you will see us doing that in the next video. Thanks for watching.